the lady from Canada, I want to welcome you. You're our first witness from the 51st state. This hearing is interesting because breaking news, Joe Biden lost the election. He's not going to run ever again. But this committee's hearing, and I mean, some good can come out of looking about what happened, and some of the things weren't proper, but Joe Biden's gone. We need to be looking at what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is we have a constitutional crisis. This is the Judiciary Committee, where the Constitution should not be something we think of as something we study in school, but something we defend and protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, it is being attacked. The rule of law is, I think, Ms. Subramana, I think they quoted you and said something about special, something about our core, what's at stake is our core values. And what's at stake is our core values, the rule of law. And this committee is doing nothing about it. We should be concerned about the rule of law, concerned about the Constitution, concerned about the truth, and we're not doing that, and we have a great problem. The American people thought that they were going to elect a government that was going to get involved with inflation, reduce the price of eggs, make their daily lives better, end the war in Ukraine on day one. None of that's happened. Instead, we've gone off on all this stuff. And we've got a guy we call a special government employee, which sounds too much like a special military operation. And it's kind of a scary term, but that's what we've got. They talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. They say it all the time, but they don't show us the waste, fraud, and abuse. They just say they've discovered it and they're finding it and whatever, all this. Well, I think it's just their policy differences, particularly at USAID, not necessarily waste, fraud, and abuse. And Mr. Taibbi, I think you said that they can't do it surgically. If Mr. Musk is such a genius, and he's a damn smart boy, X is a smart boy too. They were the two smart ones in the room the other day. But you do it surgically. You don't do it with a sledgehammer. He's doing it with a sledgehammer. And a gorilla can do it with a sledgehammer. A genius has to be surgical. And you could save USAID's programs that are humanitarian purposes and medical purposes and providing food, working against hunger and all kind of problems we see in Africa with HIV, AIDS, and PEPFAR. You can keep those programs, which is the abundance and majority of USAID. Instead, we're threatening them. Elon Musk took over Twitter, and I can tell you, I've been a Twitter user. I got more anti-Semitic comments on Twitter since he took over by far. I had some before he took over, but just a small amount. Now, almost every time I post anything on Twitter, I'm going to get something about Jew, go back to Israel, we don't need your type, Cohen, oh yes, Cohen. I'm sick of that, and Musk allows it. Go to Blue Sky. He's ruined Twitter. He went through that with the same tactics he's going through the U.S. government, the fork in the road, getting rid of people and firing so many people. Twitter has been ruined. It was a marketplace for ideas. It no longer is. It's a mouthpiece for the extreme right and for Musk. Musk has not shown him to be able to understand the government and speak truth. When we had a continuing resolution up in last December, Musk said the bill allocated $3 billion to build a new football stadium in Washington. It didn't allocate any money for a football stadium. And he said it emphatically, $3 billion. He said it was going to be a 40% salary increase for Congress people. No, it said there'd be a cost of living adjustment of 3%. On USAID, he reposted, as did Donald Jr., a post that was eventually found out to come out from a Russian operative that said that Ukraine paid $20 million for celebrities like Angelina Jolie, Sean Penn, Ben Stiller to come to Ukraine. False. They didn't pay anything for them. And they've said that we spent, Musk said $50 million, Trump $100 million on condoms in Gaza for Hamas. And that's not true. There was $7 million, is all USAID spends all over, and that's for helping on HIV AIDS. And the Gaza they spent some money on was Gaza in Mozambique. I mean, they can get on a map and see the Gulf of America, but they can't find out what's going on in Africa. And that's going to be the largest growing continent in the world. I'm just concerned about the truth. I'm concerned about Musk. I'm concerned about Doge. I'm concerned about this employee who they wanted to bring back, and I think they did, who said, just for the record, I was racist before it was cool. You could not pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity. We want to normalize Indian hate. And that's not Tonto, that's an entire country. And I would not mind at all if Gaza and Israel were both wiped off the face of the earth. That's a real nice character. And that's who they took up as their champion.